So what is a true GMT? There are two different types of GMTs out there. There's a Traveler's GMT, which is referred to as the True Style GMT, and then there is the Office GMT. Now, a Traveler's GMT or True GMT is where you could actually operate that local hour hand or the 12-hour hand of your watch to set to the local time. While an Office GMT, you can operate the GMT hand, so the 24-hour GMT hand that is usually in a different color to contrast the background of the actual watch's dial. And those are pretty common because ETA makes the 2893 and tons of watch companies use that movement. There's also the Soprod C125 that is also very similar to the 2893. However, there are very few watches out there that use a true GMT or Rolex style GMT as it's also referred to. Similar to the way that the GMT-Master 2 or the Explorer work where you can actually operate that local time. I'm going to give you 5 examples in this video of affordable GMTs that are actual true GMTs. So that is where you can operate that local hour hand. And I'm going to give you these from a price range of $500 to $5,000. These are all really cool watches. I actually want all of them in my collection. So I'm going to start out with one of the nicest on this list and one of the most affordable, and that is the Medo Ocean Star GMT. It is a $1,000 to $1,500 watch. You can get them for around $1,000 on a bracelet, used or on the aftermarket, gray market. They come in at 44 millimeters. They're 13.3 millimeters thick. They get a sapphire crystal, 200 meters of water resistance. But really the star of the show here is the Powermatic 80. And that Powermatic 80 has been modified by Medo, by ETA, to be a true GMT. You have a couple of different colorways. It is on the larger side, so you can get a black or a blue dial, but they are all in 44 millimeter. So it's not a small watch. The bracelet on this watch is really nice as well. But like I said, the star of the show is that Powermatic 80. The Powermatic 80 on its own is an awesome movement, but they've actually modified this specific Powermatic 80 to be a true GMT. A lot of people want to see this movement put into other Swatch Group watches, and I think that would be absolutely awesome and really shake up the market a little bit. Next on the list is a watch that I cannot wait to order. It is the Seiko Sharp Edge Presage. This comes in at around $1,300, also very affordable. 42 millimeters, 13.7 millimeters thick, so it's a little bit thicker than that Medo, but it's a little bit smaller at the same time. Sapphire crystal, of course, 100 meters of water resistance, and it's not using a new movement. This is the 6R64. It's actually a movement that's been around for a little while. They've used it in other Presage watches. They just haven't put it in a really attractive case, like a sports case like they have on this Seiko Sharp Edge. It looks really good. It gets that sharp edge hemp leaf style dial, which has a texture to it. Looks absolutely gorgeous. They're giving you a few different color options as well. You can get them on a bracelet and they come on a strap. Really beautiful watches. And I think these are going to be very, very, very popular when they come out, especially since the Seiko Presage Sharp Edge is already popular. And this is just adding a GMT function, and it's a true GMT function, so this will be very, very popular. Next on the list is one of the more expensive offerings. This is the Fortis F43 Triple GMT. That's what it's called. It gets a rotating bezel. That's that third time zone. However, the movement in here is the Work 13. It's kinesis movements, basically a movement that's used by Tudor as well. Norcane use it as well. 200 meter watch. It has a sapphire crystal. It's 43 millimeters, but the price is around $4,000. It's 15.5 millimeters thick, so it is on the thicker side. It also gets a rotating bezel, a 24-hour bezel, so you're getting that third time zone if you really want to time or track a third time zone. It gets an awesome movement that's being used by other major brands, and actually another brand that I have listed on this 5 watches that I've chosen. And it is on the more expensive side, but something a little bit different and definitely a very good looking watch. Next on the list, of course, is the Tudor Black Bay GMT. No list would be complete on an affordable sort of alternative to the GMT-Master 2 list without mentioning the Tudor Black Bay GMT. It has a Pepsi bezel. It looks like the GMT-Master Pepsi, and that's obviously what they were going for. It gets the basically a very similar movement to the one that's in the Fortis. It is the MT5652. It's not exactly the same. It is technically a Tudor in-house movement is what they call it, a manufacturer movement. 200 meters of water resistance, 41 millimeters in diameter, 13 millimeters thick. A really nicely proportioned watch here, just around $4,000 for this watch. A really good price for a very good looking watch. I don't know if I would take this over the Fortis. I think I would go with the Tudor over the Fortis just based on looks, but very, very close here. Next, but not least, and the most affordable watch on this list is the Seiko Sportura SUN025. This is a polar dial explorer sort of homage from Seiko. It is a kinetic GMT, and it is a true GMT. It's 44 millimeters, 12 millimeters thick, sapphire crystal. It gets the 5M85, which is sort of their mid-range kinetic movement. So it's not their nicest kinetic movement. You get a 12-hour bezel. It is affixed. It's very similar to an Explorer, Rolex Explorer. It looks very, very similar. You have an orange GMT hand, and it's 100 meters of water resistance. Very, very good looking watch. 44 millimeters again on the larger side of the scale here. So we're going from 41 millimeters up to 44 millimeters on this list, and $500 from this Seiko all the way up to $5,000. Really, none of them actually are $5,000. They're all under $5,000, as I mentioned. So definitely a lot of good options out there. And there are tons of other options in that office GMT, that not true GMT sort of category. I own a few in that category. I really like them, and they're just as functional as a true GMT. But tell me what you guys think in the comments below. I want to hear from you guys. This is just a list of 5. There are tons of other watches out there in both categories, the office GMT or the traveler GMT, that I could definitely make lists on. But give me some more suggestions in the comments below. I definitely want to hear from you guys. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, hit that bell icon. It's super helpful for the channel, and I very much appreciate it. Please follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is WatchChrisBlog. I have some links in the description. Those links are to Amazon. If you click those links and buy anything, it helps support the channel. It doesn't cost you anything extra. However, I very much appreciate it. Anyway, thank you for logging on. I'll catch you guys in the next video.